What's up, everybody? Choose here. Sunday afternoon. It's about a little after 2:30. I am doing a page turning and Dorito nacho cheese chip eating video, and I didn't have. I just realized that I forgot to fill the ice cube tray up, so I don't have an icy drink, but I have a very cold Arizona Mucho Mango drink that I can sip on. And I got the mic here. So the book I'm going to be kind of sporadically page turning and reading from is VH1's 100 Greatest Albums. So just going to open these up and get started. Want to wish happy birthday to one of my subscribers and friends, Brandon. I told him I would do this video for him and share it with you guys. I'll get started here. I have no particular albums, highlighted or anything to cover. Well, I'll just kind of cherry pick. I've never been into Nirvana. Revolver, The Beatles is number one. The first album listed here. And Nirvana's Nevermind is the second. So maybe I can do this. Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day, a band I hate, says about Nevermind, you don't skip through songs when you listen to Nevermind. You listen to it one after another. It's almost like you're cheating yourself if you don't listen to one song. And they just talk about, they have a few things to say about the album. The Beach Boys' Pet Sounds is number 3. Elvis Costello, an artist I like, says Pet Sounds is an unbelievable record. It's like classical music. Wonderful compositions, beautiful singing. I think the compositions stand up to any kind of interpretation. I've heard Put Your Head on My Shoulder played on the cello, and it sounds like a piece of music that's been with us for hundreds and hundreds of years. Sounds like it's always been there, and I think maybe in 100 years' time, people will be playing their songs on the piano, trying to work out where they came from. I've heard this album. Not bad. And talk about how the song Caroline No is a crowning achievement from that album. This also has, Wouldn't It Be Nice? And I think this probably is about Brian Wilson. It says, the sounds he was hearing in his head, in many cases brought about by the large amount of marijuana and LSD he was ingesting, had become too complex for the rigid structure of the group. Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? Chuck D from Public Enemy, a group I like, Says what's going on signifies an album of a guy that artistically had to say what he had to say, no matter what anyone else said. And to me, it signifies what an album and an artist should be about. Huh? I have never heard it, heard songs from it. The Jimi Hendrix Experience, the album Are You Experience, is number 5. It's gonna page turn a little bit. Songs in the Key of Life, Stevie Wonder. A classic double album. Mary J. Blige says the first album that I could really remember in my household was Stevie Wonder's songs in the Key of Life. It was about love. It was about life. It was about what was going on in the world. The Beatles, Abbey Road. Bob Dylan, Blonde on Blonde, is number 9. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is number 10. I bought that on cassette, actually. No one had anything to say about this one? There's stuff written about it, but I was looking for artists sort of to say something about it, but The Beatles, the White Album, number 11. There's nothing quite like the unadulterated taste of Doritos nacho cheese. Exile on Main Street, Rolling Stones, number 12. Liz Fair says that album is a really great portrait of the inside of a man. All of his feelings and all of his egotism and all of his blindness. The music is like the force of a man. That's a very sexy album because it's like manhood personified. Well, she needs a man, I guess. Or needed one then. Who's Next? Number 13, by The Who. I think I just spit. Joni Mitchell's Blue, number 14. I've heard a lot about this album, but I've tried to listen to it, but I can't quite get to finding anything I like from it. Gwen Stefani says, I think the album Blue was a real personal album. It felt like, gosh, I know everything about this girl just by listening to that album. She's amazing. And I do like Joni Mitchell, but it took me a long time. A long time. The Joshua Tree, number 15. Rumors, number 16. This was, I think I've heard this album. This is a classic album. I really love Never Going Back Again. But Dreams is okay. Yeah, Dreams is pretty good. Don't Stop, I can kind of live without it. Go Your Own Way is okay. It's not bad. In fact, I think I was listening to, it was a best of Fleetwood Mac earlier this week at work. Lindsey Buckingham was a dynamo. Number 17, Never Mind the Bullocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. I'm running out of chips, y'all. Prince and the Revolution. Purple Rain. Moby says, the songs are thematically so different from each other and stylistically so different from each other, but there is a wonderful cohesion. Well, of course, the album is a classic, but truth be told, I hate the title track. I cannot stand Purple Rain, and I'm not that big of a fan of When Doves Cry. I can respect the fact that a lot is made of the fact that When Doves Cry doesn't feature a bass line anywhere. I can respect that and how weird it must have sounded as a single release at that time, but I never cared for the song. The Velvet Underground and Nico. This is an album that I love. Number 19. Fred Schneider of the B-52 says it was so ahead of its time. While everyone was doing psychedelic, they were doing nasty, grungy songs. That's true. This record followed by, I'm reading a passage from it, followed by the pounding, propulsive, I'm Waiting for the Man with its weird, discordant piano and its lyric about storing drugs in a strange neighborhood. This record was that neighborhood to me, I guess alluding to something else. And while its blank-faced nihilism has come to seem more cartoonish than creepy, as in the grinding viola-led S&M ode Venus in Furs, and the famous Whisper to a Screech junkie proclamation Heroin, the songs themselves have lost nothing of their original enigmatic charm. I wouldn't say cartoonish. I would recommend the following from this album. And this is the album in question. In case you've ever seen the cover and wondered what the hell, this is the album in question. So I personally would recommend Venus in Furs, Heroin, and the Black Angel's Death Song, which is one of my favorites. It's basically Lou Reed. It's stream of consciousness writing. Nothing about it would make sense to you. Femme Fatale and I'll Be Your Mirror also. Oh, I might stop here at number 20. And if you like this book, if you like passages I've read from the book or whatever, then maybe I'll continue it in the future. But number 20 is It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, which was released in 88 by Def Jam. And again, no one's saying anything about this album. This was a brilliant album. I'll say something about it. I did not like Public Enemy at all. When I was listening to a lot of rap at that time, I thought Flavor Flav was the most ignorant person. I thought they were loud. and all of this. I don't know what turned me around. It might have been the track Night of the Living Bassheads. That might have turned me around. I think there was a part in that song that featured a sample, a brief sample of a Salt and Pepper track. And where Salt goes, "You're hurt." And I think it was in Night of the Living Bassheads. And I kept reading and reading and reading about, Critics' Choice. It was like always like at the top. And I was like, what am I missing that everyone else is fucking seeing? Let me check that out. And once I heard the whole album, I understood. I was hooked. Well, I apologize for the lighting. It's really cloudy. I've got the camera set up in another way, but thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was to your liking. And like I said, if feedback for this book, if you like, I can continue to read from it in future videos. If the sound was good, let me know, and I'll see you guys. I'm doing a live stream this later on. Probably I'm gonna put this live stream now, probably at about 6 or 7 o'clock. Yeah, I gotta try to see what I'm gonna snack on, if I'm gonna snack on anything. Okay, you guys, thanks again, and like, comment, and subscribe. You guys haven't been commenting lately. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.